Hey guys, I'm really happy to be here. I have the feeling that I'm coming to a family reunion, which in a way is true. And I'm very excited to share with you what I'm going to share and to get your feedback and to hear from your projects and basically, yeah, to find out how skydancing is progressing. So, first of all, I want to thank you for having me here and giving me the wonderful opportunity to share my latest discoveries. I want to tell you that I'm still quite intimidated about transmitting online. I don't much like it, but okay, what to do? And so I have notes, and I'll navigate between my notes and my spirit. I want to thank Céline Selma for her incredible support. Vraiment, vraiment, merci. She is a multi-dimensional Renaissance woman. She does the Zoom, she translates, she finds the solutions to everything. I mean, very impressive. Thank you. And, I want to thank you, Laurent and Laurence, for being such a wonderful, sharp, caring, dedicated, and clear mother and father to our skydancing family. So thank you to you to help us in our progression. And I want to thank all those who carried this skydancing baby along. Nital Brinkley, Rupananda, Maike, Saraswati, Sachidananda, Margarita Pro, Kunina, Michael Zog, the Chef Abe Abelos, Steve and Lokita Carter, Surabi, Vasanti, Peter Schröter, Stefan Vazet, and so many, many more, because we have been around for so long. And so I want to also thank the protectors and the guardians of our spiritual self, of our Sangha, of our lineage, Padmasambhava, Yeshe Tsogyal, Osho, Aravinda, Mary Magdalene, and so on, so on, so on. Thank you. They're very present here. And so here we are, building what I call, and I believe, is an ecstatic conspiracy. I've already said it, but it's progressing. And I believe that we're opening the doors to a new world beyond madness, destruction, and death, and a world of light, celebration, and freedom. A world of honoring one another as brothers and sisters on the path to joyful and spiritual expansion. So, as teachers, I want to talk to you about, what that looks like from my side. I may tell you things you already know, but it doesn't matter. It's always good to hear them again in a different angle, in a different way. Um, so let's talk for a moment about spirituality. So you might have noticed that in some parts of the world, if you call yourself a teacher of skydancing tantra, people frown upon the word tantra. And there's even places where they won't let you rent a facility to lead a group because you're calling yourself tantra. So I propose that we name it in an alternative now, because we don't really care about all these silly opinions. We could call it sky dancing, which is neutral, the path to bliss, which is neutral. Okay, so we're teaching sky dancing, the path to bliss. So it's a possibility. If they ask you what you're teaching about, you could say, well, I'm teaching a way to understand who we are and our relationship to all that is, to the universe. A way to know that our spirit, which I could also call, as I did in the art of sexual ecstasy, the high self. And that means it's opening to this dimension that can be done whether we are laïc, whether we are part of a religion, or we have no religion. Anytime you work on yourself, you sooner or later come to the point where you're basically bored with all the manigance of your ego, and you want to go beyond that. You want to ask yourself, well, who is this I that is exploring ego, and what's beyond this ego? And so that's what opening yourself to, bliss and the expression of the high self is all about. So we need to shift a little bit, I think, could be. Instead of saying we teach Skydancing Tantra, we teach, the path to bliss. And what is this? Well, it's awakening to your spirituality. And for the rest, they will find out in the workshop. Um, so then the second step to look at briefly is, okay, so everybody talks about transcending your ego in this spiritual world. Well, okay, what is the ego? We all know, more or less. So the ego is an amalgam of what we were taught and what we got transmitted by our education, our parents, and so on, our traumatic experiences, our ways to protect ourselves, and it's basically what forms our personality. So it's a good thing. And I remember also talking to someone who was very rich in Pune and said to him, well, I don't need to go anywhere. I want to stay with you. And he said, no, 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 you go home. Because it's only when your ego is fully grown, fully successfully expressed, that you can afford to drop it. And you haven't finished on that path. So we need a strong ego. We need to be sure of ourselves. We need to love ourselves and express it, yes. But there comes a point where we need to go beyond that, okay? And that's what I'm interested in these days, because the other one, yeah, I pretty much did the best I could in expressing it, you would say. So now going beyond that calls for the understanding that our ways of perceiving the world is about 70% an illusion. What do I mean by that? Well, you perceive, something is given, your senses are perceiving something. Now, you interpret this sensory perception. Then your ways of perceiving this interpretation comes, and this way of perceiving what the senses are giving you is formed by so many filters, okay? The filters of our education, once again, the filters of our trauma, the filters of what didn't work for us, the filters of our wrong first sexual experience, so many filters. And when we go deep into our spiritual dimension, we need to sort out what is the illusion and what is the truth. We need to be able to perceive without these filters. And this takes work. This is not so simple. And we don't want to spend years and years and years on the couch of a therapist, in order to figure out how we can perceive beyond illusion. This takes too much time. Okay, so I will give you, my understanding of this in a minute as we go on. So after realizing the difference between truth and illusion, we start to want to cultivate, the high self, and to want to find a key to tuning in to this high self, to tuning in beyond the ego, okay? And this is what I would call transcendence. That is the art of residing with your high self in a place which transcends your ego and transcends your judgment and your evaluations. And in fact, it is a place of blissful emptiness. Okay, there is no, there is a relaxed mind. I wouldn't say there is no mind, not yet, but there is a relaxed mind that has been calmed, that has been accepted, that is being befriended, so you have no fight with yourself, and you can accept whatever it's giving you, but you say, okay, let's move on here. This is not the end of it. And you slowly, by repetition of a practice, whichever one you choose, come to a point where the transcendence starts to happen by itself. And you can feel it as it's a very subtle thing. And we need to cultivate that now. We need to cultivate that. It's very important. This is the door to our freedom. Okay? A transcendent is the art of turning within. It is a kind of a witnessing of that is able to notice and perceive without any kind of judgment of wanting this or not wanting that. It is just taking note. This is how it is. Okay? This is how this is functioning. And then taking a breath, going inside, expanding your consciousness, which again we'll do in a minute, and being widely perceiving beyond perception in a way, And this is something that needs to be cultivated because it is the key to inner peace. Okay? And we need inner peace right now. We need to cultivate that in such a way that nothing can shake us, And the more you cultivate this inner world, the more you turn within, and take the time to cultivate your bliss, to cultivate this joyful realization of the infinite potential of the inner space, of the inner wisdom, the more power you get. But you get another kind of power, not the power that the world is talking about, get more money and, get more clicks on the Instagram and blah, 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 market yourself. This is happening all around here. Oh boy, there's so many Tantra teachers that are doing it, and I'm staying home and meditating. But, this kind of, this kind of transcendence is absolutely needed for starting to have glimpses of your awakening. So that would be, the path that I would préconiser, that I would say is important to cultivate. Now, all of the above requires focus, discipline, humility, like you don't know better than anybody else, okay? You're simple, you're humble, you're just one of us, one of everybody, and that is an absolute key, to be equal to all that is around you, equal to the friend, equal to the frog, equal to the cat, all loving dimensions of being, of creation. And it requires sincerity, and also calm repetition of the ways that you choose to follow into the inner journey. Not finding new ones, not going into spiritual tourism, but choosing among the ones you already know, one way, one practice, and you repeat it every day. No matter what, you take time, you get up early. Remember how I was telling you that I was unable to do that? And how I was preferring to read books and so on and so forth? Well, now I've done exactly what I tell you, and I'm beginning to touch exquisite spaces of awakening, And it is just because I pull myself out of bed at 5:30 in the morning and I do what I need to do. And, after a while, it starts to work. And I'm willing to help you in that, of course. Okay. So, I believe that we can change the world And I believe that it is having to do with a turnaround. And it is knowing that freedom acknowledges that we are sovereign beings who can make choices that are uniquely ours, that are outside of what we are told to do, outside of any boundaries imposed upon us. Yes, that takes courage. I know all about it, But this is being sovereign, This is what I believe anyway. So this is for me a way to turn things around. And it's already happening around the world. More freedom is coming. And pure creativity is, uh, is, uh, is happening to those who believe in their sovereignty and those who can achieve transcendence in their meditation. So the steps to awakening, I would summarize, would be this. Meditate. Yes, meditate. Now, go beyond my mind, my shopping list, my this, my that. Find a method, and I will give you a little bit something later, that you repeat every day until you reach a point where you are transcending. You are very relaxed inside, and you're expanded. Your consciousness is expanded, and you're not bothered by the mental intrusions. Okay? Then actualize. When you start to turn within and you discover, deeper truths and deeper wisdom, which happens, absolutely happens, then the next step is you need to actualize this. Meaning you need to develop the art of being in the mad world that we live in, and at the same time to be turned within, in this never ending way of actualizing your spiritual understanding, actualizing your capacity to transcend, by expanding your consciousness no matter what. Okay? It's possible. And then in meditation comes a point where, beyond struggling with the method, basically it's all about listening. Okay? When you listen, you receive. And you appreciate what is in the now. And you appreciate what is given now. And then grace may or may not come, but at least you're making yourself ready. So, in this whole process as teachers that you're exploring, sound is very important in this process. I'm going in French here. Lorsque tu parles, écoute les mots que tu dis. I can say, when you speak, listen to the words that you're saying. Trouve la joie de faire parler ton cœur. Find the joy to let your heart speak. This is the meaning of sincerity. Ça, c'est le sens de la sincérité. La joie de laisser parler ton cœur. Et tisse le son de ta voix avec les vibrations de ton esprit. And weave the sound of your voice with the vibrations of your spirit. As a teacher, when you can do this, then you can be at once inside and outside with the people around you, and you can weave with your voice the vibrations of your heart. People will really appreciate you. And know in this way, in this practice, that meditation is the door to silence. The realization that this time of now and here, this now, this now is a moment of beingness compressed in this only instant of now, which will never come back again. It will never be the same again. So pay attention, be present, taste the invisible grace which is here, waiting for you on the quay of the train station, because it has an appointment with your soul. Open your door to welcome the invisible. Elevate your attention to hear what is the silence, what is hiding in the silence, what is revealed through the silence, and to listen to the birds singing the joy of being. Every instant is a benediction. So let's explore this a little bit. I'm proposing a moment of meditation into silence together. So make yourself comfortable. Sit in a way where your body can be with a straight spine. And I'm going to give you a simple series of bijas, of seed sounds, that if you repeat them on a daily basis, will help you to bypass or to transform or to transcend the possible intrusions of your thoughts or of your mind. But you need to repeat it on a regular daily basis. Otherwise, it will have no real power. It will not really help you. So sit with your spine straight, relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And now I'm going to sing for you a sound which you will then continue to sing inside yourself. I enter my spiritual truth, and it descends from my heart, where it becomes the mother of creation. That is the meaning of this mantra. So let's do it a few times together inwardly. I'll do it again out loud, and then we do it inside. And then keep going inside. Feel the sound of ah in the chest, in the throat, e in the center of the head, resonating at the crown, and ma falling down in the heart chakra. And now keep going, slowing down in a more and more relaxed way. Slowing down the breath until this Bija mantra almost disappears. And now you are not anymore there doing anything. You just receive this Bija mantra like a bird landing on your shoulder. Just listen to it and relax. Let go. J'entre dans ma vérité spirituelle, Aïm, et elle descend dans mon cœur, où elle devient mère créatrice, Ma. And now comes the second part of this mantra, and it goes like this. Aham sa. Aham sa. Aham. Je suis le tout. I am all that is. Sa. Le tout se répand à travers moi dans l'infini. Sa. Ok, donc maintenant on pratique ça. Now we practice this one. Aham sa. Et lentement, en votre propre temps. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. And slowly, in your own time, take a deep breath, stretch a little, and come back. Et de là, je passe à cette question que je me pose par rapport à là où vous êtes. Je ne sais pas vraiment ce qui vous arrive encore. J'entends des sons de cloche de toutes sortes. Récemment, une autre sangha, celle d'Aravinda, qui vit en Allemagne, disait que c'était pas drôle du tout. D'autres disent que tout est génial.
En anglais, Margot, s'il te plaît.
Ah oui, c'est vrai, excusez-moi. So, I want to move now from this wonderful moment of meditation into this question: how do we face the world that we're in today? I hear all sorts of bells. Some people in Germany are complaining that it's very hard to be there. Other people are saying in Mexico that it's wonderful. People are moving, migrating. What to do? So I would say turn within and have enough discipline in your practice that you slowly replace effort with pleasure. You find the pleasure in the repetition of a practice that feels good to you. And you choose a practice which is actually not an easy one, but one that your body needs, that your spirit needs. You know what your weak point is. You know what you need to work on. Find a practice and repeat it regularly and follow it by the mantra that we just did. That will make it more potent if you do it after a practice. If it's difficult to transition from discipline to have a discipline and transition from, yeah, holding on to this discipline no matter what, then find the help of a yoga class or a coach or a teacher that comes to you, or you go there and you're encouraged and helped to repeat and repeat until you get it. May take a month, 2 months, 3 months, but if you do it regularly with some discipline, you will feel the progression and you will be happy, and slowly it will be replaced by pleasure. So the pleasure comes when you feel the progression in your body, in your heart, in your spirit. The body is a vehicle that is magical. And if you take good care of it, it will really give you back miracles. So take care of your body. Love it. Stretch it. Now, be careful about the outside traps. Fear, we all know about that. The constriction of your excitement with fear, with guilt, with resentment about what's happening around. Be careful about that. Don't get identified with this. Don't let don't let it take you over. Notice notice when it's happening, and be good to yourself. Don't make yourself wrong. Say, I know this. This is happening now. Take a deep breath. Move on. then be careful as teachers in this crazy world that you don't get trapped in the stress of wanting to do too much too quick. Remember that the vision of the mind to achieve a new project is very quick. You already see it. It's already there. It's realized. It's in front of you. Like the writer who is writing a new book, discussing the book with the publisher. Ah, the book is already done. Well, in fact, if we go that way, we stress out because implementing, actualizing this in the third dimension takes time. So you can do it all, but remember, you need every day to keep at least half an hour to an hour to dive into your bliss, to dive into your pleasure. It doesn't matter whether you're on your own or whether you're with someone else. I'm on my own, and I love doing that, and it works, and it feeds me and nourishes me, and I don't need someone else. Of course, when someone else is here, it's great, but I'm not missing anything. So we can all do it. So then also be careful about the trap of ambition. The impatience that this ambition gives us that things are not being accomplished fast enough. If you fall into that trap, you lose your pleasure. You complain to the universe. You complain to your co-workers that they're not doing it well enough. You complain to yourself. Don't go there. It's not helpful. Okay? Notice, simply take note. Oh, I'm ambitious. Well, that's good. But I don't want to waste my time with such things. So, what to do? Well, then you look for people that have the talents that you need. And now you're starting projects in skydancing, which you're going to tell me about. And that's exactly how it goes. You share a realization. You share a spiritual baby. You help one another and you cultivate each other's joy. Okay? Then sharing a joint ambition is a way to not get trapped in the stress of wanting to actualize something on your own. So, yeah, be careful because the reality of the third dimension, wanting to accomplish things, pitching ourselves against the world, wanting to penetrate the world, getting trapped in wrong perceptions that are illusions of the ego, yours or other people's. This is the world of effort, efforting, and suffering, this third dimensional world. So that's why when you navigate in it, it's very important to continue to practice inner work, meditation, okay, and transcendence. So you can continue to be in this transcendence even as you navigate the outer world. So beyond this outer world, there exists a potential that is very much available to you when you turn within and when you have for a while this discipline of inner practice. Then you get to contact this inner source, this luminous source of your being. Then you touch a form of contentment, a form of acceptation of what is, a form of relaxation into your being, and ultimately a form of letting go. And when you are cultivating this, and you can apply it even in very difficult circumstances, then you have won one more step to your full awakening. Because you cannot really go into your awakening if you have not mastered this. Think of it. A calm sea, okay, reflects light without distortion. Un calme sea, une mer calme, reflète la lumière sans distorsion. Then we can access the high self. We have transcended the busy mind. The attention of the outside to the outside is now focused inward. And when we reside in this inner calm, in this inner let go, the universal intelligence, which is waiting at the door, in a way, the realm of Akash, is just making itself more and more available as you tune in with all that is. And in this space, you are guided. You have nothing to do anymore. You can be there totally relaxed, meditative, let go. And when you are able to completely let go, one good way is at the end of yoga in Shavasana, the final relaxation, all of a sudden, mini awakenings start to manifest themselves. Like one of them, you disappear. There's no more anybody there, nobody home, no more I, no more me perceiving, witnessing. We have disappeared into the great void of creation. In this great infinite silence, suddenly pure perfection is revealed. Wow, pure perfection. Imagine this. Everything is perfect as it is. Wow. If we can reside there, cultivate it, value it, feel attracted to it, in that precious field of spaciousness, all answers are given. And you are in a darshan with yourself because you're touching your awakened self, your awakened no self. So, what am I saying is, we have a mission to change the world. We can bring it on by cultivating and sharing joy and celebration, but also awakening. It is time to see that Tantra is not just about the alchemy of transforming orgasm into bliss. It is actually a path to awakening. And we need to cultivate also this dimension. So be aware now, in the next days, of the aspects of your life that are unnecessary illusions and that procure you unnecessary burden. Be aware of those that feel important to you and that are real. Those where you are helping the world, and in helping the world, you are helping yourself. And what would happen if you would let go even of these? If you would let go of it all, what would be left? Love. only love in all its myriad forms. And love is joyful. And that's why we're doing what we're doing and being in this wonderful Sangha of the Sky Dancers for love in all its different manifestation and different aspects. So remember that you want to embody, you want to exemplify, you know, the way of treating each other. You want to model the way of treating each other, the way you would like people in the world to treat one another. So treat the others the way you would like the world to be. Avoid gossip, negativity, reproaches, judgments. Yes, they're there. It's okay. But just watch yourself when you are in them. And maybe just keep them for yourself. Say, ah, yeah, now I'm judging. Oh, now I'm about to enjoy gossip. Why am I doing it? Because I feel superior to the person that I'm gossiping about. Yeah, who needs that? You know, so travel in the way of awakening and drop the rest. That's my suggestion. So, now, how are we going to do that? Well, we need to practice and exercise this. And so I suggest to you that you all over, get together in groups and have a common project that you're going to work on together. Work on a project, practice together, so you can experience together moments of harmonious coherence. And that is the way to vibrate at the same frequency. And each group could have their own, could choose their own signature sky dancing practice that they would practice at the beginning of each of your meetings or each of your gatherings. No matter what the project is, it is going to help it along. So develop the inner and the outer both, and let the outer actualize the inner. Do not forget sky dancing practices or think that you have mastered them because you have taught them or practiced them many times. Remember, spiritual awakening is work. Some say that it happens just like that. Well, yeah, there's some books written about that, but you know, it happens once in a blue moon. And I would say it is work. But this work is exciting because it is a revelation. And in your practice, just feel that when you share it together. Ah. And of course, these practices, alone or together, will reveal your patterns, your weaknesses. Oh, I'll never succeed. Oh, I'm not good enough. I have it. I notice it when I try to do an advanced practice. This one always comes back. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'll never get it. Okay. Well, notice this without fighting it and move on to the practice itself. Let the practice be your anchor. Don't listen to the rest. Be cautious in your daily world when you watch TV. Remember, media has an agenda to program your mind to the negative. So you can better be controlled. Oh, things are so bad. I better look to the government to help me out of this one. I feel helpless to deal with it myself. Watch out. So practice being in the negative, in the middle of the marketplace, in the middle of the TV news. Practice being in the negative dispassionately. Dispassionately. Don't make yourself opinions, don't have judgments, just watch the movie. One among many other movies. In fact, you can watch this outer movie and have fun watching your inner transcendence and movie of spiritual practice. When you can be doing both of it at once, you're cool. You have power to move in the world without getting destroyed by what's going on. Okay, well, I think I told you pretty much what I needed to say. So close your eyes. And now let me take you to a very quick practical tour of some practical information. I've asked Céline to distribute to you a copy of the Margot Anand Ecstatic Conspiracy Tournée of 2022. So as you will see, as I'm happily going on to my 79th year, I have quite an intensive tournée going on. And you're most welcome to join me. It will be a delight to have you along with me. So think about that. And wherever there are spaces in there, there will be between groups. If you want me to come and share with you or teach you something, well, I might be available, or you can come to where I am. For instance, I will be in Portugal. And in Portugal, I will be there before I start my group. So we could all gather at there is a facility there called Awakeland, I think. We could meet there. Or we could meet in Mexico, where I'm doing a group with Ulysses, and I'll be staying there also after that. So anyway, lots of good things happening. And also you could come to Bali, because I have a beautiful place in Bali. And once you pass the border, Bali is free. Bali has 5,000 Tantra groups doing so many different groups. There is ecstatic dance, there are parties, there are dinners. My God, it's amazing what's happening here. I think they got the message from all the Balinese doing so many ceremonies and calling all the gods for protection. So anyway, many possibilities are there. Remember, I have an audiobook that just came out, so tell your friends about it. And my audiobook, you can buy it on you can buy it on wmargoanand.com, my website. And a suggestion, I need your feedback. I was thinking for a long time to open a so-called Margot Anand channel. And Laurent said, why not? We could put it on Skydancing International website. I'd like to have a channel where I share my pearls of wisdom with you once in a while, or what's happening, or a little video. Right now I'm working with a group called Saving Elephants in Bali. You know, interesting things. So if you think it's a good idea, maybe I'll do it, but you'll have to visit it, otherwise it's no fun. So I need to know whether you're interested. Okay, that's about it for me.